Hey, what's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back. It's your boy Jay Larone with Jay Larone Presents, where we talk about the facts, foolishness, and female fuckery of the modern black woman. Okay, today's episode, man, we're going to talk to you guys about the Tupac Shakur, right? We know that rumors are actually not rumors, but there has been an arrest made, right? Because people have been talking about this for a while. I saw a little bit about it on Friday or Saturday. Came across a video today actually showing that the guy named Keefe D, you know, has been arrested, in the murder of Tupac Shakur, right? Now, from what I understand, Keefe D is a known, I guess, drug dealer or general of one of um the gangs that was in California back in the day. So, he's done some time, he's done some dirt, and apparently he's been making his rounds in social media, and he's been basically dry snitching on himself, right? So, and back in July, his house was raided, or his girlfriend's house was raided, or the house he was staying in, or whatever was raided, and they found a whole lot of things connecting him to Tupac's, murder, right? So, um, I want to show you guys a video of the Las Vegas, Nevada Police Department where they are talking about Keefe D and how they have arrested him and are going to be pressing charges. And then I'm going to show you another video from AV to the Seventh Power. She's a YouTuber. She's in the law, on the law side of YouTube. She's going to show you some videos of Keefe D basically dry snitching on himself, telling on himself in interviews that he's done with Vlad TV. And I think some other YouTuber did an interview with Keefe D. And all this happened out this year after his house was raided in July. So his house get raided in July, and he goes on all these damn talk shows and YouTube channels talking, right? Telling on himself. But let's get into this first video with the Las Vegas Police Department. All right, y'all hold tight. Fair use, fair use.
All right, folks, we are going out right now to Las Vegas. The update on the Tupac Shakur murder update. Let's listen.
This afternoon. 27 years. 27 years. For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It is far from over. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today. Several of those detectives that are standing here with us include Detective Cliff Mogg, the lead detective on this case. He is now retired. While I know there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department, I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case. It was not the case back then, and it is not the case today. Our goal at LVMPD has always been to hold those accountable and responsible for Tupac's violent murder accountable. Just like we do for every homicide victim in our city. Every single victim, every life that is lost is important and remains a priority to this police department. As we methodically built this case to move forward with an arrest, it was also important that at the same time, we're building towards a successful prosecution. We work closely with our esteemed district attorney, Steve Wolfson, in his office to ensure that is going to happen. Mr. Davis's own words reinvigorated our case in 2018. I'm going to give you some of those details, and I'm going to introduce to you our homicide lieutenant, Jason Johansson, and he will provide you many of the details on how we got here today. Lieutenant.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you everybody for being here today. My name is Jason Johansson, and I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This case has been reviewed by our homicide team and homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And that Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely street gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller.
Oh, not sure why that cut out right there, but every time I rewatch it, it gets to that part, and for some reason the sound just goes out. But I just want to let y'all know. But let's keep it moving.
The Southside Compton Crips, and both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton. On the night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight, and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru, came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event. As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM, and at that time they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank. I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident. And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson. Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight. Little did anyone know that it is this incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM to make their way to a post-fight party, which was to occur at a local nightclub. At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM, and then that's when Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated.
Now, we'll stop it right here real quick, because from what I understand, and this is, I don't know if any of you guys have heard this, but the guy Orlando Anderson, from what I understand, all these fools are dead, right? All these guys are deceased except for Keefe D. Right now, from what I understand, Orlando Anderson is Keefe D's nephew, right? And also, from what I understand from other people, and hearing other people talk about this, is that Orlando was the one who pulled the trigger on Tupac. But since he's now deceased, I mean, nobody's really, you can't try a man who's deceased. But from what I understand, Orlando was the guy who actually pulled the trigger on Tupac. So I don't know, but yeah, like I said, right now they have Keefe D on. He's been arrested because of him running his mouth on this whole situation.
At some point in time, as they were in the white Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers in the rear seat of the vehicle. As they were driving west on Flamingo Road near Koval, they located the black BMW, which was driven by Suge Knight, and in the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur. And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur. Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled the area southbound on Koval, and after our officers arrived on scene, Tupac was later transported to the University Medical Center, where he was treated medically and died approximately 6 days later on September 13th. My homicide section handled this investigation from its onset and for a short amount of time. And within a short amount of time, what we knew was that we were working a gang investigation where our victims, our witnesses, and our suspects were all from Southern California and not local to Las Vegas. Within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges. As time went on, this case had been reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. It was at that time that this case was assigned to Cliff Mogg, a detective within my homicide section. And over the last 5 years, my section worked closely, hand in hand with the Clark County District Attorney's Office, and followed a systematic investigative plan over the last 5 years. We've conducted countless interviews and corroborated numerous facts that were not only consistent with the crime scene on the night of the incident, but also corroborated and were consistent with the sequence of events that night. This ultimately led to us procuring a search warrant which was executed at Mr. Davis's residence in Henderson, Nevada. And following the execution of that search warrant, in close coordination with the District Attorney's Office, this case was presented to the grand jury, which ultimately led to Davis being indicted on charges of murder. Before I hand it off to the District Attorney's Office, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Detective Mogg and all the other detectives that were not only assigned this case and reviewed this case, but all the other detectives from other agencies that assisted us in this investigation. They know who they are, and thank you very much for all the assistance you provided. It does not go unnoticed. And lastly, one of the most important things, in my opinion, is we need to make this be a reminder that the charge of murder does not have a statute of limitations. This agency has been and is invested in solving our cold case homicides so that we can bring closure to those families and justice for those victims of homicide. And with that, I will turn it over to the Clark County District Attorney, Steve Wilson.
Thank you, Lieutenant Johansson. I appreciate it. Good afternoon. I am the Las Vegas Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson. It has often been said, justice delayed is justice denied. It's a quote we hear often and for many, many years when talking about our legal system, but not in this case. Today, justice will be served in the murder of Tupac Shakur. I'd like to acknowledge the relentless work of the many Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department homicide detectives. We've mentioned Detective Cliff Mogg many times, and we can't mention his name enough. He is the detective, along with his colleagues, that brought this case here today to you. A Clark County grand jury has indicted Dwayne Keefe Davis with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. Davis will appear in court in the next few days or so for a hearing to determine his custody status and to set a jury trial date. This grand jury has been receiving evidence for months and has determined there is sufficient evidence to justify the filing of this criminal indictment. I've assigned two of my top prosecutors, Mark DiGiacomo and Banu Palal, to prosecute this case. I know a lot of people have been watching and waiting for this day. Tupac Shakur is a music legend, and for a long time, this community and worldwide have been wanting justice for Tupac. Today, we are taking that first step. Tupac was actually quoted as saying, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender." Well, we didn't surrender thanks to the great work of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department under the leadership of Sheriff Kevin McMahill, Lieutenant Johansson, retired Detective Cliff Mogg. I am proud to announce the return of this document. This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for. It spells out the facts and circumstances and what justifies a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment. Justice will be served. Thank you.
All right, so as y'all see, this guy Keefe D has been indicted with the murder for Tupac Shakur, for Tupac, right? So this guy was with the Southside Crips back in the day, back in 1996 when all this occurred. The guy has been going around social media self-snitching on himself, right? Telling on himself. So now they have, they had a warrant, they went in, they found some stuff and all that. So now this guy is, he's arrested and he's going to stand trial for the murder of Tupac. So it looks like we're going to get a murder trial probably in 2024. Something that's 27 years old, man. It's been 27 years, since this happened. So this is, I think I was 26 years old. This happened back in 96. Yeah. I was like 26, man. I had just got out of the military. I was actually, when Tupac got shot, I was actually about a week out of the military. So I got out like right around Labor Day, end of August, so it was around Labor Day weekend. Right around there when I signed out, was on leave for 30 days. I had acquired some leave. I had 30 days leave, went on leave for 30 days, signed out, had all my out processing done. I was gone. I was done with the military. So yeah, so a week after I got out of the military, man, this happened. So yeah, that's a long time coming. But what I'm going to do, I want to end this here, you guys, but I am going to load up another video featuring AV from the Seventh Power. She's going to talk about the interview that Keefe D did with like Vlad TV and some other social media outlet, right? Some other YouTuber he was interviewed by, and you're just gonna hear how this guy just self snitched on himself. But you guys stay tuned. I will be dropping that video later on. Yeah, drop some comments down below, man. Let me know what y'all think. Also, drop your favorite Tupac song as well, man. Cause like I said, for this to last this long, for this to go 27 years unsolved just until recently, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I don't think if it wasn't for Keefe D out here doing these interviews, I don't think they still would have been on top of this. You know what I'm saying? That's just my feeling towards it. But ain't no telling what they've been doing for the past 20-something years. But yeah, you guys drop some comments down below, man. Like I said, again, drop your favorite Tupac song, down in the comments, man. And you guys, I'll be back again. Like I said, I want to do another video, that talks that shows you the interviews that Keefe D did and how he self-snitched on himself. But yeah, you guys, please be good to yourself. By all means, let's be good to one another. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna